They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What did Jason have, by the way?
He had a raw dog plain with just ketchup. He had the chicken sandwich plain with the toppings on the side. And then he got a grilled cheese ungrilled for his daughter.
What can I get you?
I'll have a number 3.
I'd like the chef salad, please, with the oil and vinegar on the side and the apple pie a la mode.
Chef and apple a la mode.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Wait. So I thought that was like some sort of joke.
No, he legitimately got basically no toppings on any of the stuff.
So Jason's kind of like Meg Ryan in When Harry Met Sally, is what you're telling me. That's a strange order.
But I'd like the pie heated, and I don't want the ice cream on top. I want it on the side, and I'd like strawberry instead of vanilla if you have it. If not, then no ice cream, just whipped cream, but only if it's real. If it's out of a can, then nothing.
Not even the pie?
No, just the pie, but then not heated.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Have you actually ever sat at a table with somebody who made an order like that?
I have not.
I mean, I'm sure, Ashton, especially now with the food truck, you have had some interesting orders of withholds and whatnot, but I mean, and obviously it's, it's from Harry Met Sally. It's a movie. It's over the top. It's meant to be exaggerated, but there are people who are very particular eaters.
But a chicken sandwich with everything, I mean, Ashton's going to do the legwork for you and put the lettuce, the tomato, the whatever on it. I don't get it.
What I think it was is Jason just didn't want to be rude and get it plain, and he's like, well, put it on the side and maybe I'll try it.
Again, the weirdest part about Jason's order is the ungrilled cheese.
That is weird.
It's for his daughter.
Wait, so
now
is it a cheese spread?
Well, no, we do have just a generic grilled cheese for kids.
Okay.
It's just, American cheese and bread. Like, simple.
Yeah. Because you're like cheesiest Maximus.
That's the one that has like the cream cheese spread on it, different cheeses and better bread. That's the big boy for sure.
Okay.
Now I do. My wife has the palate of like a 5-year-old. You go to a steak restaurant and order peanut butter and jelly.
Hey, maybe they've got really good peanut butter.
That sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Fruits, vegetables, Yeah, she's not in. I mean, I could eat vegetables in the summertime. I could eat, Ashy, a bowl of cucumbers and a tomato salad. And I'm good. That's it. I don't need a protein.
Plus, like in the summer, like fresh veggies like that.
Oh, if you get fresh veggies.
Refreshing too. Yeah.
Fresh veggies are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a garden, but no one ate vegetables.
Wait, you had a garden?
Myself, so it was kind yeah. Okay, I was a farmer. Ask me a question about farming.
How early do you got to wake up to milk the cows?
4 a.m. There's no holidays for dairy farmers. Let me just tell you that right now. You're working every day. What do you think of that, Ashton? Boom, roasted.
I already do that. I don't understand. How is that?
What is the most manual, labor-intensive job you've ever had?
The food truck?
That is not. Oh, my God. Picking cucumbers, tobacco was brutal. Gabe, you ever do any haying up in the con?
No. Again, my dad had his own business. He was an electrician. We did not have any farmers that were personal family friends, so I never worked on the farm up there.
Okay. Ask Lance Romance, although me and him battle a little bit. The reason they leave one oak tree in the middle of a farm field is so the farmers can eat in the shade. And he will not agree with me. His dad wouldn't agree, and they're just wrong. Have you ever heard that?
No.
No, but they're
Have
also.
you ever got? Have you
Lance,
ever?
So
have you ever
Lance
gone-
is somebody who works here who actually grew up on a farm and took Craig Karmazin, our founder and CEO, to his family farm when he was producing the old Stephen Craig show way back in the day, in the early days of Good Karma Brands.
Did Craig milk a cow? Did he pull on the teat?
I don't know what Craig
You ever-
did and did not do on that day. I just know that Steve and Craig both spent a day on the farm.
Have you ever pulled on a teat, Ashy?
Plead the fifth.
It's kind of weird. I'm talking cows.
Oh, yeah. It was funny if we just let it linger, and did not clarify that it was indeed a cow.
If Chewy had
So-
anything else to say about that.
Yesterday we had a story. Chewy shared a story. His daughter played because the season is now over on the soccer team, and her career is now over because she was a senior at Kettle Moraine High School. They played for the state championship in girls soccer on Saturday after winning a game on Friday evening. There was a girl on that soccer team that received a yellow card late in the semifinal game. And for Kettle Moraine. And Kettle Moraine was then informed early in the day, 9 a.m., according to Chew, that this girl was then going to be ineligible for the state championship game because she received a third yellow card in the state tournament, which is an automatic suspension of the next game. However, she only had 2 yellow cards. There was a mistake made by an official in an earlier game in the tournament, writing down the wrong number 11. They were playing, I believe, Madison East. After reading some more stories about it, they were playing Madison East. And the WIAA policy is that you have 24 hours to appeal decisions like that. So the mistake, according to the WIAA, should have, and their policies should have been, it should have been protested. It should have been appealed within 24 hours of that game, which was on May 30th. However, because Kettle Moraine won that game, Chew, what is it, 6-2?
Yes. Something like that, yeah.
They won the game going away, so there was no reason for the for the coach really to check in to make sure that the official didn't do anything nefarious. And I'm not saying the official did. I'm saying he just made a mistake. Whoever the official was, they made a mistake. It's fine. It happens. Our problem was that this seemed like a very fixable issue that the WIAA decided to put their heads in the sand. We were hard on the WIAA yesterday, and I'm probably going to be hard on them for the next 10 minutes as well, because every time this story gets brought up, I get upset. I had a buddy of mine text me a story from the Waukesha Freeman about this yesterday, kind of reiterating some of the things that you had mentioned, Chewy, that the team, Kettle Moraine, had a protest where they all started with their jerseys inside out in the game. And then when the officials noticed, apparently 3 minutes in, and had them flipped, they just flipped it all right over in front of everybody right then and there. They didn't care, because they were trying to support their friend and teammate who was not allowed to play. She was also then not given a medal by the WIAA, and I would love to know what their policy is on that, because if that's in the policy handbook, like, you're being a lot of words I can't say on the radio
Richards.
for no reason.
You're being Richards.
You're being Richards for no reason, right? You're being Richards for no reason.
Yeah.
But in the
Let me just
interest
throw
of
this in.
fairness, we reached out to the WIAA because, again, we were hard on them yesterday. And by the way, I don't regret anything we said yesterday.
I don't regret one thing I said.
Ever. Just as general policy.
No. But Gabe, and I'm all about second chances before I tell you this next little story. All about second chances. I think everyone should be given a second chance. But when a kid is convicted of a felony for armed robbery and the WIAA allows that kid, which I'm okay with, to play with an ankle bracelet on in the state championship game, right? And this girl did nothing, and you don't let her play, those clowns, they should. I don't know.
And that's.
I'm just thankful I do not have to deal with them ever again in my life, because they are clowns.
Yeah, that's where. I mean, again, like, this girl did nothing wrong. The adults made the mistakes around her, and if the WIAA, and these are points I would have loved to talk to someone with the WIAA about on our show. But if the WIAA is about, and I know they are because I have to read a certain amount of things whenever we do, like we've done Catholic Memorial high school football games. We did their entire playoff run all the way up to the state tournament for football this past fall. And every WIAA state playoff game, there's a list of reads that you can choose from and do. And one of them is about keeping the, education and education-based sports, right? Like, what lesson are we teaching this girl who did absolutely nothing wrong and the adults screwed her over? Life's not fair? Is that what we want? Is that what we... I don't know. I don't know what we're trying to teach there. If we're all about education-based sports at the WIAA, I don't know what the lesson we're supposed to be taking out of this is. Anyway, we reached out to the WIAA. Ashton sent them an email yesterday just kind of asking, hey, do you have a statement? Would you like to come on our show? And here's what we got from Todd Clark.
And I quote... Hi, Ashton. LeVar Ridgway shared your inquiry with me. Thanks for contacting our office regarding the state girls soccer tournament. The WIAA Executive Office does not comment on specific student-athlete information as it applies to the rules and regulations of the membership. To receive more information and comments, we direct you to Kettle Moraine's School Administration. The rules and regulations for the association are available on our website for reference when you get the opportunity to speak with the administration at Kettle Moraine, respectively, Todd.
But there's another level to this
so they
game
pretty much, by the way, just to break that down quickly, Chew, to break that down what Ashton just read off, they refused comment. They pretty much decided that they didn't need to make comments as per their policy, and if we have any questions about their policies, we can just read their website, which is just a cop-out. It's just a cop-out. Like, you've got an opportunity, like, you screwed up, and now you should own up to it. Like, this is supposed to be education-based sports. So when you make a mistake or somebody within your organization makes a mistake, you don't have to fess up to it. You don't have to teach the kids to be held responsible. You're trying to hold other kids responsible. And now you won't hold yourselves responsible? That's BS. And that's what ticks me off about this whole thing. And look, yes, Chew, she did nothing wrong. This girl did nothing wrong. But then, again, at the thing that just blows my mind, all right, you've decided to put your head in the sand as the WIAA. You don't want to, this is our policy. We stand by our policy. Fine, you can do that. If you want to do that, if you want to do the wrong thing, you can, and that's what you did. But then, to deny giving her, and for 2,000 people, a medal after it's all over, that's unnecessary. That's uncalled for.
The other level is, now this girl's an all-state player, and she's being recruited, and there were going to be colleges at this game. Now, I'm as guilty as anyone in being lazy. What's a coach from Colorado going to say when he really doesn't dive into the story and says, this girl was not allowed to play because she got 3 yellow cards in the state championship? She must be a dirty player. Right?
Yeah,
that's how we associate things today. We get a little lazy.
I guess, but right now, Chew, like, there's no way you can avoid this. Like, if you're a college coach not doing your due diligence, you're not going to be at that college for very long. Yeah. I mean, think about all the work that your kid puts in. How much work does he put in?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was at the Division II level last year as an offensive coordinator, putting in all that work.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of work, but that's how you get caught up, Gabe. You're like, you're recruiting 300 kids. I don't have enough time to read every article about someone from KM. You're like, 3, all right, I don't want. That's not the kind of program we want. And it's just totally unfair for a 17-year-old girl to have to go through this. But, yeah, I'm...
Yeah, so Stephen Pewaukee,
I get exasperated.
Yeah, what's the Kettle Moraine High School coach's responsibility for not protesting? She didn't do their job, sure. Like, you can put that on the coach for not looking and following up after that game on May 30th and seeing and double-checking all those things, sure. You can put that on the Kettle Moraine coach. That's fair. But also, this was something that, why would you look? Like, it just doesn't make sense. You won the game 6-2. You probably, but again, I guess that's part of the coach's responsibility. Sure, part of it's on the coach. But again, it's just something that was so easily fixable. Something that you, as an organization, as the WIAA, it's your job to put on opportunities for these student athletes, for the student athletes. And instead of having a great state championship game, and you even mentioned this yesterday, Chew, you don't, as good as this girl is, as you mentioned, you don't think she's probably the difference because Muskego was the better team. It was their second consecutive state championship. It's not about, Kettle Moraine was robbed. No, it was about this girl's opportunity to play in the game. And that's what you provide as the WIAA, opportunities for student athletes to play in games. And instead, you decided to make your clown show all about you. You could have avoided this whole damn thing. Could have avoided the whole damn thing. But it just seems, again, every school year, we got to go through this. Every school year, there's got to be something where the WIAA doesn't do the right thing or do the common sense thing. And then they decide not to make comments about it and just hide behind whatever their policies are.
And then how about their policy not to watch film on it? It would have taken all of 5 minutes to watch the yellow card and say, ooh, yeah, he did give it to the wrong girl. What do they do if it's the stupidest policy ever, but they're a bunch of jagoffs anyway, so who cares? What do they do if there's a fight in high school basketball where it's a melee? They're not going back and looking like, ooh, that guy got sucker punched. No one ever saw that. What do? Just
I don't know.
Take the word of either team and filter it out?
I mean, a lot of times they rely on their membership, Chew. They just rely on the schools themselves. So when I say membership, that's what I mean. The schools themselves and whatever punishment they hand out to the student athletes, that's kind of what the WIAA handles. This one from the 262, I love how heated you guys are. Love your love of the game and what it means at every level. I'm sure there will be more protests coming. Look, the reason why I'm fired up about this, I played 3 sports in high school. Chewy, I think you did as well.
Yeah.
Like, those... And I don't want to make it seem like, those were the glory days. No, but those really helped me become part of who I am. And I remember how important those opportunities were to me. To be able to play in those games, to play in those playoff games. And those opportunities were very important to me at the time. And that's why when the pandemic hit, I wanted to reach out to seniors and talk to high school seniors. And we did a series here where we did a spotlight of high school seniors on ESPN Milwaukee who lost that final season. You know, whether it was track or baseball or softball or, girls soccer, boys golf, things of that nature. We got to talk to a lot of athletes and just kind of, I feel for them more than anywhere else, because that's kind of your last opportunity to play in organized team sports. And it can be such a fun thing. And it can be, as corny as it sounds, an educational-based thing, the way the WIAA talks about it. But when the organization running the sport is just purposefully neglect. I don't even know what. Again, I just get so fired up, and I got fired up. My buddy sent me the article last night, Chew, and I tried to send it to you guys. I don't know if it was like 9:30 or whatever. You were probably fast asleep by that time. I got fired up again. Like, I had to walk around my house and calm down for a second because it just ticks me off that when we start talking about high school students and high school kids, and common sense can't prevail. It's just really frustrating to me.
Love your passion.
All right. We're going to move on from that. We're moving on from that, as that was something that happened over the weekend. We just wanted to get out there that the WIAA did respond to our request for comments and or an interview, and they, I guess respectfully, because he put it at the end, declined at the end of the email that he sent Ashton. But is it a big deal that the teammates of Jordan Love continue to come out and support him? There are a couple of people that we listen to and hear from on a pretty regular basis that think it is a big deal. We'll dive into that coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Delays on northbound 41 starting at about Wisconsin Avenue up past Watertown Plank Roads. Give yourself a couple of extra minutes there. Northbound 43 is starting to get a bit heavier as well. We got delays coming out of the Fond du Lac Avenue area up past Keefe through that construction zone. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, a high of 80 at the lakefront, 85 inland. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 61. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Summerfest is right around the corner, and Dave Matthews Band will be there on June 29th, and we want you to be there too. From now through June 21st, 94.5 ESPN is giving you the opportunity to see Dave Matthews Band at the big gig. Listen for the cue to call on Homer and Tony and be the correct caller for a pair of tickets to see Dave Matthews Band on June 29th. For full contest rules and details, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
Are you guys in the market right now for construction needs, whether it's a commercial project or a multifamily, maybe an office that you're looking to have renovated or built, or maybe it's more personal. Maybe it's a remodeling project, a home addition, or you are building a new home. If you're looking for a company that will take care of all of your needs during that process, let me recommend Professional Construction Inc. in Waukesha. I talk all the time about Mike and Michelle and how they help us out of our jams, right? You guys remember the woodpecker situation, woodpecker punching holes in our siding. PCI came over, took care of it for us. Recently, when all the snow was melting, we had a backlog of water coming into our kitchen, pouring out of the light fixtures. PCI came over, took down the balcony, wrapped it up for us, and they're going to, as soon as the weather breaks, tell us what our best plan is to fix that house issue. You know, when you own a home, you got all of these issues, but we are lucky because we have PCI in our corner, and PCI can do the same for you guys. So if you have a remodeling project, a home addition, or you're building a new home, can I just highly recommend PCI to take care of it for you as well? If you got questions about what they can do, what they have done, it's pretty simple. Go to their website. On their website, you will get a clear understanding of the relationships that are important to Mike and Michelle, the giving back to the community that is important to Mike and Michelle, and the doing exceptional work on your projects that is important to Mike and Michelle. So that website is easy. It's professionalconstructioninc.com, professionalconstructioninc.com. Tell them Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy sent you.
There's only one place in Milwaukee where every day of the year, dreams and reality get together for a great time. Where you can walk in a player and walk out a winner. That place, Potawatomi Casino Hotel. With fantastic dining, gaming, sports betting, a luxurious hotel, and endless ways to win, the excitement never stops. The only thing missing is you. Your win is waiting only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Visit our website to learn more. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Change the way you do business and take more control of the payment process with Fifth Third Bank's Treasury Management Solutions. Their market expertise and managed services streamline the entire payment process and integrate with your existing systems, giving you more control than ever. With their suite of payment solutions, you will soon recognize new revenue sources that can save time, offset operating costs, and improve the bottom line, all customized for your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What do we do? Where do we go from here?
We've talked about insulation, we've talked about fantasy camp, and now we've talked about Burning Man. We've hit for the cycle in the first 5 minutes of the show.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Is it a big deal that people are coming up to support Jordan Love? His teammates continuously throwing out the love there for Jordan Love. Like Jair Alexander last week. Jair, while he was actually at one of these mandatory mini camps, showing up for Packers offseason workouts, he interrupted Jordan Love to make sure that Jordan knew he had his back.
Has grown.
QB1, man.
Come on, man.
Best QB in the league right here, man.
John Money.
Now tell him stop trying me, though. You know what I'm saying?
So Jair interrupts the little press conference there, and we've heard from his receivers. We've heard from Romeo Doubs. We've heard from Aaron Jones. We've heard from a number of different players in the media, Chew, who have come out and supported Jordan Love. Do you believe that's a big deal?
No, I do believe it is a big deal, but I think they're taking it a little too far when they're saying the best quarterback in the league.
Well, I mean, there was
you
obviously
just have to,
disingenuous
you just
there.
have to leave you have to leave yourself out. I mean, the gushing is full tilt. It's hard for me to take anything Jair says seriously. I mean,
Sure.
I love the fact that he's candid, but he does say a lot of off-the-wall stuff. I don't always agree with it. Every team seems to have one. But it's what's strange to me, Gabe, and I get it. I get the players wanting their guys back. It's just it doesn't jive with what the coaching staff has said and continues to say. I would just temper it a little bit. If I was Jair, I'd say, he's going to be a great quarterback. He's going to have some growing pains. Just be patient with the guy. I've seen him at practice. He looks very good. But most of the guys that are talking haven't really been around too long. Even Jair. Jair's in his, fourth year? Fifth year?
Fifth year, something like that. He'd be going into his sixth. I think he's played for 5.
I mean, if this came from Bakhtiari, who's been around for a long time, or Preston Smith or something like that, I mean, to the extreme that Jair's bringing it, maybe I'd give it a little more credence. But right now, let's just see what happens. I don't want to have to go back and say, because they're going to ask it, Jair, if they start out terrible, Love starts out terrible. I thought you said this guy was the best quarterback in the league. Someone's going to ask it after he said this.
Well, yeah, and Pat McAfee had Clay Matthews on his show on Friday, Chew, and both of them think that Love getting this type of praise in public is a big deal.
Said over Jordan Love, his QB1, best quarterback in the league right now, and then one about his business. Great that the locker room is on Jordan Love's side in this whole thing. Not that they wouldn't. Not that they wouldn't publicly support him knowing what he's in, but trying to get on camera to compliment him means things have to be going well in Green Bay, I think, KJ.
Yeah, they're offering their praise. It's one thing if the media is talking to them at their locker and they say, hey, so what do you think about Jordan Love? What kind of progress has he made? How good is he? And they say, oh, he looks great. He's doing everything right. But when they take it upon themselves to tell the media and to tell people publicly how good somebody is, I think that's a good thing. Because it's John knows, hey, that's on record. If Jordan Love is garbage, you were sitting there saying he's QB1, you could always say, hey, I'm always going to be with my guy. But it seems like they truly believe it.
Ashton, did you get your Packers linebackers confused?
What did I write?
Clay Matthews.
What's the difference? Same difference. They're both.
No, but based on that, Gabe,
long hair, linebackers, whatever.
I will always divert to Jason. Who saw Brett Favre play, who saw Brett Favre practice, who saw Aaron Rodgers when he was a rookie, who saw Aaron Rodgers throughout his career, who saw Jordan Love as rookie, and when he says, I've seen one wow throw, I can't get on Jair's bandwagon. I just can't.
Sure. But the one thing, and maybe this is a question more for Jason tomorrow, because he can remember what the locker room was like, but the fan base back in 2008 was split, and Brett helped split it because, he threatened to come back, showed up to family night, yada, yada, yada. The one thing I think Jordan Love has going for him, it's great to have the support of the locker room. That's probably the most important thing, and it's more important than the point I'm going to make. But he's got the support of the fan base as well. Aaron Rodgers was booed because he wasn't Brett Favre in that first training camp as the starting quarterback when the crowd starts showing up, and he was legitimately booed. You had the famous guy who stood there with Ted Thompson in the atrium of Lambeau Field going, well, you got Brett Favre who could take you to the Super Bowl, and you got Aaron Rodgers, and the only place you're going to go is the toilet bowl. Which, great line and all, but the fan base was very split, Chew. The fan base is not split right now. And the fact that he won't have to, again, I think it's just a small thing, but the fact that Jordan Love won't have to deal with the fan base potentially turning on him the way it did on Aaron Rodgers, I think that's a nice thing for Jordan Love when we hit training camp in 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, but Gabe, let me ask you this. Is it a little bit out of pity? Is it a little bit out of pity from the standpoint of, look, we're just happy that Rodgers is gone. He turned into such a PIA. I mean, everyone felt sorry for Aaron during the Brett thing because he didn't do anything wrong. He just got drafted in the first round.
Some people felt bad for him. Other people blamed him. Again, they booed him because he wasn't Brett.
No, but I think people are embracing Jordan Love just because it got so bad at the end, which is
100%.
fine. Which is fine.
100%.
You should be behind. People should have been behind Aaron Rodgers early in his career because, remember, it's about the Green Bay Packers. It's not about the individual. The GM, the coaches should be doing everything possible for the team, not the individual. That's all I'm saying. So to me, there's a little bit of, I don't know, maybe pity's a little too strong, but I think we all felt sorry for Jordan. He was caught in this situation. He didn't do anything wrong other than get drafted in the first round by the Green Bay Packers, and then it got sour with Rodgers. So, yes, their teammates should stand behind him, the coaches, the fans. Everyone should stand behind this guy. I am just not going to anoint him like Jair is doing.
Which is fine. And I think,
yeah,
Jair's just taking it to an extreme. And, again, he's just trying to show that he's got the support of his guy. I do think that's important. I think that's good. I assume that most of the locker room had Aaron Rodgers back when it happened back in 2008, but maybe not, because it was a team that just went to an NFC Championship game with Brett Favre. That's something we can ask Jason tomorrow about how split the locker room was back in 2008 to see how much he remembers from back at that point. The NFL yesterday, Chew, went over their gambling policies. Some of these seem kind of big brothery to me. I want to know what the gambling policies were when you were a player. And is the league being a little hypocritical? We'll dive into that coming up next on Get Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But it doesn't matter what age you are, low testosterone can be an issue for any guy. Man, that's where Mentality comes in. Local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. Look, maybe you're tired, groggy, just don't have that energy to attack and get through your day the way you did maybe a year or 2 years ago. Trying to figure out why you don't feel like yourself. Well, it could be low testosterone. So what happened with me? I was getting tired as the day went on, and I just didn't have the energy. Maybe you used to work out, you used to, go on runs, walks, and you just don't have that energy anymore. Could be low testosterone. That's what, again, happened with me. I was doing the morning show, figured, I'm waking up early, that's why I'm tired. No, turns out my testosterone levels were low. I found out by going to Mentality. Got the blood panel done within a week. They got my results back to me, told me that my testosterone levels were low, and ever since that point, I've been working with them, and they give me a customized testosterone treatment plan just for me. They can do the same for you. Go to lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatments. lowtusa.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We do have a little bit of a backup along 43 northbound from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up past Capitol Drive to Hampton Avenue, so be careful with that. Also northbound 41 backing up a bit from about Wisconsin Avenue up to Watertown Plank Road. Eastbound 94 filling in a little bit. We got a little bit of a backup between Holly Road and about Mitchell Boulevards, where we're seeing those delays kind of kicking in. Traffic is brought to you by the Club at Lac La Belle, the birthplace of golf in Wisconsin. Schedule your tee time at clubatlaclabelle.com and start your journey. Checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, a high of 80 at the lakefront, 85 inland. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 61. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
Imagine this. It's 1968, and the mayor of Milwaukee says nope to Summerfest. How many bands would you have never seen, and how many lakeside selfies just wouldn't exist? There'd be no memories of riding the Sky Glider at sunset, and you'd never know the feeling of hitting all 12 stages before seeing your favorite band. Thankfully, 55 years ago, Summerfest was a yes, and every year since has been one to remember. Don't miss Milwaukee Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance. Find tickets, lineup, and more at summerfest.com.
Tried Celsius energy drink yet? If you haven't, can I tell you all about it? It's the clean energy drink that I need, that you need to stay energized all day long. And trust me, I need Celsius to get through this show with these knucklehands, and of course to do my college football responsibilities all fall long. You can find Celsius at your local Pick and Save stores or online at Amazon.com, and that's what I do. I have it delivered right to the front door of my house. Then I can just grab them as I'm walking out the garage to come to the show in the morning. So that's what you should do as well. Pick and Save or online at Amazon. Celsius Energy Drink. Celsius Energy Drink. Live fit.
Get in zone. AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. Consider STP Conventional to save on motor oil for your everyday vehicle. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP oil filter for only $26.99. Get the complete job done at the right price at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Broken bricks, falling fences, damaged doors, Gorilla Glue. Of course. It's incredibly strong and 100% waterproof and bonds, well, virtually everything. While you're at it, look for Gorilla Tape, a heavy-duty double-thick duct tape, and Gorilla Super Glue, great for all your quick fixes and repairs. There's also Gorilla Epoxy, Gorilla Wood Glue, Gorilla Construction Adhesive, of course. You get it. If you can break it, Gorilla can fix it. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Hey y'all, my name is Tiara, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Chicken Biscuit is that it has the perfect amount of spice to jumpstart my day. Whoever thought of it, thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Robert, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A Spicy Chicken Biscuit is the biscuit. It reminds me of my grandma's homemade biscuit. It's always buttery and savory. Then you add the spices, instant classic.
Order the Spicy Chicken Biscuit on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year. Which means, wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Have you never had a good pie?
I've had fine pies.
You get no pie.
Right now, yeah.
I mean, seems that way anyway. But if we get him on those dating sites, it feels like maybe he could.
Yeah. On 94.5 ESPN.
Chew, when you first came into the league, did the NFL have different like symposiums for you? Did they have rookie orientation of any kind?
No, other than the rookie mini camp. All I remember are the signs walking into the locker room.
Okay.
Gambling policy. We talked about another policy, Ashy, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, sure did.
You know, the nasty mouth with the guy who's been chewing tobacco his whole life that looks like a goblin. You shouldn't do this. Brush your teeth.
Wait,
just things like that.
Hold on. There was a brush. You're grown ass men. Why are you putting up brush your teeth? Well, by age, you're grown ass men. I don't know about where you guys were mentally, but age-wise, you're supposed to be age and physicality-wise, you're grown-ass men, and you had to be told to brush your teeth.
The training room was like a doctor's office / dentist office where they had these signs and pictures of things like this. You know,
gingivitis.
Yeah, it was the craziest thing ever. It was actually kind of cool because you had all the Q-tips you wanted, you had all the Carmex you wanted, you had a cappuccino machine.
The Q-tips.
Yeah. Well, they were free. Look, most NFL players, would you say most, come from nothing. A good number of them, right?
Yeah, decent number of them, yeah.
So our motto, if it's free, it's me. Right? I mean, Ashton, when you're a rookie making, what was I making? 100? I know it's a lot of money, 130,000, but you know they'd feed us, and I'd pack a doggy bag for home.
Honestly, that's just being smart.
I'd probably still do that today.
That's just being smart.
Yeah, free shoes. You know, steal a pair, give them to your brother. It was wonderful. They didn't really tell you a lot, though. Well, I mean, the first introduction to any type of gambling in my years in the league was one, what happened in Cleveland, where Frankie brought us into this establishment that was owned by, run by the mob, and all of a sudden we get called into security's office saying, "Don't go there." And
wait, hold on.
I told you that story.
You've never heard that story, Ashton?
I have. I don't remember it. And remember, guys.
All right.
Listeners.
Park the bus for a second and share the story.
All right. So we used to like to get out of town. Frankie owned a couple establishments in Cleveland, which he still owns today. Cool places, really cool places. So on our day off, a Monday, me, Brett, Frank, Marco, Matt Willig,
Marco
who
Rivera
was in the movie Where the Millers. He was the goony-looking dude. About 7 of us would fly to Cleveland on like a King Air private jet. Not very long. So we go there, hang out, have some cocktails. So Frank, who's from New York, Frank knows some people, let's put it that way. We go into this one place. I'm telling you, Gabe, it was literally like Goodfellas, where Hendry owned the bar.
Yeah.
So there was no one in there, maybe 5, 6, questionable-looking guys, and we go in there, and Frank knew one guy from Jersey, and me and Brett are just tagging along in the group. So we get back, obviously fly back to Green Bay on Wednesday, right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. U3, right there. Yeah, U3. In Jerry Perrin's office, who was the head of security. Well, our representative from the FBI was there, and it was like, what are you doing in the Velvet Fog? I don't know. We just went in for a drink. Well, let me show you some pictures. We were under surveillance because that place was being watched, and it's like, all right, I know the ringleader here. That stuff is over. That was a big Holmgren term. Over. Don't go in there anymore. We're like, yes, sir. Okay. So that was the reason.
Sure.
And then the other one was probably my 5th or 6th year. What's the casino in town? Oneida?
Oneida, up in Green Bay, yeah.
So they would always send out moles. We call them rats. People within the organization.
Some sort of vermin,
guys were going
sure.
out on Friday night. So it got, and we had a couple guys that loved to frequent Oneida, and they said, just be careful when you go there. There's moles there. So they would monitor it that way. And I'm not a gambler. I never went. I've never even, outside of the hotel, never even been in Oneida. The only time I've been in Potawatomi is for the show when we do live remotes. I'm not a gambler, but I mean, yeah. I've heard some stories, though. They used to play Blu-ray on the back of the airplane. And it got to a point. Now, this is before I got there, and this is the stories I hear. There was like $50,000.
Whew. Like just out there.
In the back of the plane.
$50,000 cash just sitting on a table.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what Blu-ray. It's a card game. Handful of guys would play it, but I just remember Bernardo Harris?
Yeah.
Huge, horrible gambler, I guess. Leroy would tell me this back in the play. Horrible. So they called him Crack Nardo because he was addicted to Blu-ray like crack. And that's how he got his name, Crack Nardo.
Ashton, you okay?
Did you know
back
that,
there?
Ashley?
You okay back there,
Did
pal?
I know that? No, I didn't know that. That's wow.
Anyway,
did you like the story?
I like the first one better. I like the one about Frankie and the mob.
Allegedly.
I feel pretty confident.
Allegedly.
I feel like Chewy and I are both on the same wavelength there. We feel pretty confident.
Yeah, we kind of figured it out.
So the NFL held a video conference yesterday, Chew, to explain do's and don'ts of the league's gambling policies. This, of course, in the wake of a number of players being suspended, some for an entire season, some for just 6 games, and other investigations still happening around gambling and the NFL's gambling policy. So, according to this, over at The Athletic, the NFL has 6 key gambling rules for players. Number 1, don't bet on the NFL. Seems like an obvious one. Number 2, don't gamble at your team facility while traveling for a road game or staying at a team hotel. Seems a little less obvious, but okay, that's what Jameson Williams got in trouble for with the Detroit Lions, why he's suspended for 6 games. Number 3, don't have someone bet for you. Number 4, don't share team inside information. Seems pretty obvious. 5, don't enter a sports book during the NFL season. And number 6, don't play daily fantasy football. Do all of those seem fair to you, big guy?
No, because I'm sure. Well, I know for a fact. Isn't the Oneida? They advertise inside a Lambeau Field, so they're getting money from Oneida, and then saying it's very hypocritical, right? But from a legal standpoint, I guess it's your employer. Can they say you cannot go into a sports book in Las Vegas?
Apparently. But so I'm wondering if they're differentiating, so like if you go to, and I don't know what the sports book is going to look like at Potawatomi here. I know that it's they don't technically have the sports book yet. They're building it out. Right now it's just kiosks. So if you wanted to go play, it's your off day, it's a Tuesday, and I'll go play a few hands of blackjack over at the casino. I'll go over to Oneida if I'm in Green Bay. Like, as long as you don't go into the sportsbook portion, I think you're okay, right?
I don't know.
I don't know if they differentiate. That's just a question I would have.
Have you ever been in a sports book?
Yeah, I've been in a sports book in Vegas.
I love sports books. I don't gamble in them, but I love the people watch. And I love the action, and the TVs are great. You sit there, have a few drinks, and people are into it. Could be horse racing, could be cricket.
It makes sense, though, during the NFL season, they don't want you to be seen in there. So I guess that at least I can make that make sense to me.
But what about this, Gabe? It's right along the same lines. Now, the NFL takes massive amounts of money from liquor and beer companies, right?
Official beer of the NFL, official booze of the NFL.
That's the thing that bothered us back in the day, because we were not allowed to endorse that type of stuff at all.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Which is, again, totally
I would say that's
hypocritical.
wrong. I would say that's wrong. If the league is taking money, you guys should be able to get some of that money as well. Here's some of the other things that don't make sense to me. So all other non-players who are employed by an NFL team, including coaches, are prohibited from all sports betting. They can't bet on non-NFL games, and they can't bet away from team facilities. So if you are a coach, if you are an equipment manager, you are not allowed to bet on any sort of sport, period, full stop.
I get it from the standpoint of you have insider information. Right.
Yeah, but if you want to bet on an NBA game,
but something happens.
If you want to bet on the tournament, you want to take a team in the NCAA tournament. If you want to go bet an over/under on.
Gabe, let me tell you where it opens up a window. Okay, kid comes from Florida State. Florida State's playing in the national championship against Alabama. Make a few calls. Hey, our best receiver sprained his ankle on Thursday. He's not going to be 100%. That's going to affect, if that information came out, that would affect on how the line is going.
But per NFL policy, the player that did the legwork to get that information that used to play at Florida State could bet on that game. He just couldn't do it from the team facility or go into a sports book. Like, he could do it from his home on the mobile app that he's got on his phone. Like, he could bet on that, but if you're the equipment manager, you can't.
That doesn't seem right.
That's what I'm saying.
It should be all or none.
That's what I'm saying. And the NFL is also alerted whenever a player uses a mobile gambling app on his phone, per NFL Vice President and Chief Compliance Officer Sabrina Perrell. Which also, look, I understand that, somebody's probably watching me at the majority of time. I use my phone. But the fact that the NFL... look, if you're using the NFL's Wi-Fi from the team facility, sure, that makes sense to me. But if you're just at your own home using a mobile betting app, and the NFL finds out about it, that seems a little too big brothery to me.
But we have the same restrictions in studio there, where certain sites are blocked and don't allow us to get on, which we see as pretty pertinent information. I mean, we like to look at the lines, but we're restricted
because they put
the studio from doing it.
Yeah, so you have to go off the Wi-Fi and go. But again, like, if I'm just at my home, Chew, and I want to look up something, whatever. If it's on the company computer, the computer the company provides me, yeah, sure, monitor that all you want. But I pay for my phone. And I'm sure the NFL, I'm sure some NFL players pay for their phone. I'm sure some of the guys get like a free Verizon one since they're the official mobile of the NFL or whatever. But if you're just at your home, like, I don't think the NFL should be allowed to monitor what you're doing on your phone at your home.
Let me ask you this, though, because we've all seen the stories on point shaving, Boston College. We all saw that 30 for 30 special. Does that happen more than we know?
Probably. I mean, I don't think it's a common occurrence, but I think it's probably happened more than we know, and the guilty parties have not been caught. Like, would I be shocked if The mob was also involved in a different college at the same time as the BC went on, and just nobody found out about it, and they pulled the plug after people were sniffing around the BC one. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
Because I remember going all the way back to Iowa's playing in the Rose Bowl, and this is probably like mid-'80s. And I remember Ronnie Harmon, great running back at Iowa, but wound up fumbling like 3 or 4 times in the Rose Bowl and turning it over, and there were rumblings of, is there something nefarious here going on? I don't know how far it went. This was, remember Chuck Long, youngsters? So it's gone back a while. I can see where there's apprehension, you know?
Just some of it, and look, you've opened up this door, right? But when you welcome in the gambling money as the NFL or any sports entity, but just being able to monitor your players if they open up a gambling app on their phone doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah, that doesn't seem. I wonder if their phones, because all our phones were through a company called Primeco, so everyone had 00 whatever your number was, and they were free.
Yeah.
I think Frank is still 0052. He never got rid of the number. I wonder if they even had the ability to track us back in the day.
Maybe not. But certainly now they do.
It was kind of a team thing. It was, certainly now. Yeah, very Big Brotherish.
Yeah, but again, if the NFL's doing it, it's not all that shocking that they're a little Big Brotherish. We try to be Big Brother to Ashton and try to track everything he does. Well, it's tough for him to be secretive when he walks in with the mark that he did on his head this morning. We'll dive into that coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN. Sunday Night Baseball hits the City of Angels this week for a 2017 World Series rematch.
There's a shot to left and deep, headed toward the Dodger bullpen. It's gone! Mookie Betts is on a tear.
It's Dodgers hosting the Astros in L.A.
Left field, deep and gone! Minute Maid erupts with Bregman's 5th grand slam of his career.
Our coverage starts Sunday night at 5, right here on Milwaukee's home for the biggest MLB games of the week, 94.5 ESPN.
With summer in full swing, now's the perfect time to head to the ballpark. Score great deals on great seats from our friends at Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Every crack of the bat, every diving catch, every heart-pounding play. Experience it live, in person, from the first pitch to the final inning. Vivid Seats has a huge selection of MLB tickets, and they're the only ticket company that rewards your purchases. For the best selection of 2023, shop now. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats. Experience it live.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Sarah wants a yard. My own little paradise. Brad, however, hates yard work.
The only thing I hate more than cutting the grass is paying someone to cut the grass.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Sarah and Brad found a great home with a yard. A very, very small yard.
Time to get it done. And I'm done.
Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information. Want to get FDA-approved generic Viagra sent to your door and get your first month free? FreeRexMD.com has made the process incredibly simple. Here's what FreeRexMD.com patients are saying.
The process was really easy. You go online, you answer the medical questions. I didn't have to call a doctor. They made it fast and simple.
I order it. The medication is at my house within a couple of days. I can tell my wife is happier. I am definitely much happier.
Your consultation is free, your shipping is free, and your first month is free. Generic Viagra starting at just $2 per tablet at FreeRexMD.com.
My partner thinks that I am a rock star.
It's life-changing. It's literally life-changing.
I wish I hadn't waited as long as I did.
Go to FreeRexMD.com to get started right now and get your first month free. That's FreeRexMD.com.
It's Wrangler season out there. T-shirt days, denim jacket nights. A pair of broken-in jeans you could live in. Open roads, endless horizons, no destinations. This is when adventure starts calling. And you need to be ready in jeans that are made for the unpredictable journey that we call life. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Hey y'all, my name is Tiara, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Chicken Biscuit is that it has the perfect amount of spice to jumpstart my day. Whoever thought of it, thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Robert, and the little thing I love about Chick-fil-A Spicy Chicken Biscuit is the biscuit. It reminds me of my grandma's homemade biscuit. It's always buttery and savory. Then you add the spices, instant classic.
Order the Spicy Chicken Biscuit on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Is it against the law to be a moron or no?
The law.
Not yet.
I texted this to Jen earlier. The law does protect some people from things that are called an attractive nuisance.
On 94.5 ESPN.
We have tried our best to provide a peek into the life of one Ashton Homer Rotman. We've tried our best. Chewy has threatened to throw a private investigator on him. And if Ashton has done, I would say, over the last, as we approach 3 years of doing this show, Ashton's come out of the shell a little bit more. And he's usually, pretty secretive about what's going on. Obviously, kept it secret that he had a girlfriend for a long time, was fearful of what you, Chew, might do on the radio with that information.
Fair. I feel like, again, that's fair fear.
But you can't hide. What happened to your head?
I mean, just in general, or like right now?
No, like right now, because, there is a mark on the top of your head.
Yeah, it's not good.
Like, I wouldn't say it's quite a gash, but it's like, I don't know, it's a little raspberry you got on top of your head. What?
I'm trying to put my head in the camera for everyone to see if you're streaming on YouTube or Twitter, which you should do, by the way. If you're not doing that, you should check us out on Twitter and YouTube. You can stream us live every day. Check out ESPN Milwaukee. So last night, we went out to dinner, my girlfriend and I. We decided to walk around. We went to Zocalo Food Truck Park, which I had never been to, actually. I know it's shockingly enough, I had never gotten a chance to go out there. So we decided to do that yesterday. It was super nice out. We walked around. As we're leaving Zocalo, I don't know if anyone's familiar with this, there is the bar that's inside. There's an outdoor, window, and there's an awning over that window. Now I'm about 6'6". The awning is about 6'4". You can do the math for what happened. I wasn't paying attention where I was looking, and all of a sudden, boom, the awning came out of nowhere, and awning 1, Ashton's head, 0.
So when you hit your head on this awning, did how loud was the noise?
Oh, it was loud. There were people there. It was loud. Everyone,
you know what?
There was a gasp for sure, and I looked at my girlfriend, and I'm like, and she just started laughing at me, and I was like, a little heads up would have been nice.
You know what? I've been there, and it's not funny.
It's a little.
That to my wife.
If it happens to somebody else, it's at least a little.
Hold on. You know the airport parking garage?
Oh, yeah,
yes.
Familiar.
Where you get to a point where they say, big yellow beams, 6'2". So, the gentleman I am, I always wheel my wife's bag along with mine.
Right. This guy knows what he's doing.
So, I'm not paying attention, right, walking, and all of a sudden, boom! Almost knocked me out. Went down to one knee, come out of it to see her barreled over laughing.
Yeah, what the hell?
I'm like, Ashton, this is another instance that goes on the list. The benefits to being tall are few and far between.
Yeah, I get, and I was like looking at, she started
It's not always great.
No. And I looked
laughing.
At her, and she goes, this wonderful, wonderful person. She just laughs at me, and I said, what were you doing? I was on my phone. For the 5 seconds we were walking out of Zocalo, that's what happened. Came out of nowhere.
Gabe, when you said mark on the head, Ashton to me seems like a big hickey guy.
How?
That's where I thought you were going.
You think I
wears a lot of turtlenecks, wears a lot of mock turtlenecks.
I've never worn any of those.
Has
in my
the
life.
ability to grow a full beard in probably 7 hours. He just seems to me, and if you look at him, he looks like a hickey guy, right?
I don't think that's accurate at all. I'm not. Just for the record, I'd like to put it out there. I'm not, and I don't think I would be. Because that would have
Susie wouldn't care, Ashy. Susie doesn't have a problem with it.
She cares, but I wear hoodies all the time. I do not ever wear turtlenecks.
Gabe,
my neck is always exposed. I feel like
this is a follow-up question that needs to be asked.
Chewy, are you a hickey guy?
When's the last time you had a hickey?
I don't think I've ever had
Me
one.
neither. That's not for me.
I don't get it. Now, I've seen kids of mine with hickeys, but I think out of the four of us, when Jen gets back, the one most likely to have a hickey would be Ashton.
I don't agree with that at all out of the four of us.
Like current day, like you're not getting, once you become, like once you're older than, I would say 21, you're probably not getting any hickeys anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I'm nearing 29, guys.
Like hickeys are like a high school, early college type thing.
I guess my question
is...
His
first girlfriend, Gabe. It's his first girlfriend, for crying out loud.
I mean, does she should take some blame here, right? Or no, I'm just being a baby.
No, like you've been 6'6" your entire, I mean, how long you been 6'6"?
Probably 7 or 8 years. Yeah, a while, 10 years.
When do you think you stopped growing?
I definitely stopped growing, or I definitely was still growing after my 1 year of college.
Okay.
So, yeah, 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, I was too. I grew until 19.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been, let's call it a decade. You've been 6'6" for a decade.
Long time.
At this point, you got to know to be looking out for low-hanging things, right?
I usually am, and the thing about food trucks is that they have awnings. Our food truck is very tall, thankfully, in the inside and also the outside. Some people don't love that as much. However, I'm not used to this. And where I ordered the food yesterday, the window I had to duck my head under, and you're right. I got to have my head on a swivel all the time.
Hold on. What's the equivalent to short people? Tripping?
No, I trip all the time too. It's just that's just a cluster.
I don't know what the short I don't know what the short person equivalent would be.
Is it okay for short people to laugh at a tall person hitting their head on an outing? Because
I mean, yeah,
I think I
laugh at people all the time when they get hurt.
Chew. It's funny when it doesn't happen to you. If you were there yesterday, you would have been laughing at Ashton.
Yeah, you would have been making fun of me.
Yeah.
But the best part,
I would have been rolling.
So I had a hat on yesterday. So as we were walking around, we went.
Wait, you have that mark on even though you were wearing a hat?
Imagine what the mark would have been if I didn't have the hat on. That's what I kept thinking about. And I didn't even look at first. I was like, oh man, that hurt. Your pride's hurt. You're embarrassed. Your girlfriend's laughing at me. And I looked at her at one point when we were still walking, and I was like, I took my hat off and I was like, it kind of hurts. Can you see anything? And she's like, no. And I leaned down and she just started cracking up. And I was like, what's wrong with you?
Was it sharp? Did the hat save you from potentially being busted open?
I think so. It still hurts really bad today. That's why I couldn't wear a hat today.
You're soft.
Well, my head is soft, yeah. Or dense, one of the two.
There is a big story that has been just consuming the internet and all of social media. We'll let you know what that story is, and Chewy has a question off of it. Coming up, just 2 minutes. Jen, Gabe, and Chew.
Full show podcasts, interviews, and special content is available right now at WisconsinOnDemand.com. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we now have a crash on the ramp from Brewers Boulevard to 94 westbound in the stadium interchange. Left lane is blocked, so it's going to be tying things up. We've also got backups on westbound 94 from about 16th Street through the stadium. The eastbound side slowing down from 92nd Street on through. We've also got southbound 43 slowing way down from Good Hope Road all the way down past Keefe. Traffic is brought to you by the Lake Country Dock Hounds in Oconomowoc. Enjoy a family-friendly baseball experience in Lake Country, where summer nights last longer. Go to dockhounds.com to get tickets. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny, a high of 80 at the lakefront, 85 inland. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 61. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information. Want to get FDA-approved generic Viagra sent to your door and get your first month free? FreeRexMD.com has made the process incredibly simple. Here's what FreeRexMD.com patients are saying.
The process was really easy. You go online, you answer the medical questions. I didn't have to call a doctor. They made it fast and simple.
I order it. The medication is at my house within a couple of days. I can tell my wife is happier. I am definitely much happier.
Your consultation is free, your shipping is free, and your first month is free. Generic Viagra starting at just $2 per tablet at freerexmd.com.
My partner thinks that I am a rock star.
It's life-changing. It's literally life-changing.
I wish I hadn't waited as long as I did.
Go to freerexmd.com to get started right now and get your first month free. That's FREEREXMD.com.
Want to play some games? You can get over to Potawatomi Casino Hotel. They are bringing 24/7 sports betting to the great city of Milwaukee with the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Have you been there yet? Have you placed some bets? They make it so easy. Self-service kiosks, odd boards, wall-to-wall TVs, free parking, great food, and a full-service bar. And look, let's say you don't want to wander past all of the slot machines, past the blackjack and craps tables because you don't know if you can trust yourself by going to the sportsbook. They've got kiosks upstairs at the top of the escalator right when you walk out of the parking structure by the skywalk. So you don't even have to go all the way down on the casino floor to the sports book. You can place your bets at the kiosks right there off the parking structure. So put your game face on. It is time to bet bold and bet big and bet bold at Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What did Jason have, by the way?
He had a raw dog plain with just ketchup. He had the chicken sandwich plain with the toppings on the side, and then he got a grilled cheese ungrilled for his daughter.
What can I get you?
I'll have a number 3.
I'd like the chef salad, please, with the oil and vinegar on the side and the apple pie a la mode.
Chef and apple a la mode.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Wait. So I thought that was like some sort of joke.
No, he legitimately got basically no toppings on any of this stuff.
So Jason's kind of like Meg Ryan in When Harry Met Sally, is what you're telling me. That's a strange order.
But I'd like the pie heated, and I don't want the ice cream on top. I want it on the side, and I'd like strawberry instead of vanilla if you have it. If not, then no ice cream, just whipped cream, but only if it's real. If it's out of a can, then nothing.
Not even the pie?
No, just the pie, but then not heated.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
What are you guys talking about? Like during the break, it was only a 2-minute break. You guys are sitting over there. There's a lot going back and forth. Suddenly I just get a picture texted to me of cars that are hanging up on a wall. Like, I'm very confused as to what's going on right now.
I'm in a battle at home, right?
Oh, boy.
I have my own studio.
Let's start.
It's set away from the rest of the house. It's kind of my studio.
Okay, so this is like an extra room in the house that you've kind of taken over. So this is your home office.
It's the pool house.
Okay.
It's the pool house. So I found these. I can't remember where I found these pictures, and they're pictures of 3 cars. I think they're super cool. They're bright. My wife's family owned auto body shops for over 50 years. So as a nice guy, I saw these things, and I'm like, what a nice touch. You know, she's a character on the show.
Yep.
I think these cars represent her, and now she's threatening to take them down, and I am outside of my mind.
So, are you going to put the pictures up on...
The pictures are currently up at Jen Gabe Chewy on Twitter, and I'm going to put up a poll. Chew, like, how do you want to solve this here? I think is the question, because the pictures are up there. So everyone look at the pictures.
But for those who can't see, I mean, I'm sure you've seen some version of these. But they're 3 kind of more classic car type pictures where one car is in full color, everything else is in black and white. The vehicles themselves in the paintings, in the artwork, they pop. And I would agree with you, Chew. It's a nice little touch.
Do you like them, Gabe?
I do like them. I like that. I like it. I also like how your little Keurig there that is in the bottom part of the picture kind of matches the 2 red cars.
That's for the guzzler.
I think they're kind of lame.
Well, what?
Well, you suck.
I think these pictures are kind of lame. They're just, I don't know, they're kind of boring.
You don't think it's a good montage?
They're nice. My wife? They're nice. I don't know. Why does she have a reason for not liking them? Like, why doesn't she want them?
Why don't you like them?
I think they're lame. I just think they're boring.
Why do you mean lame?
I don't know.
It brings color to the room. They pop. I think. All right, well, let the fans decide. Throw it on there and say, should I be able to keep them or get rid of them?
But what is your wife's take on that? She just doesn't think they belong. She doesn't like how they look. Why doesn't she want them up there?
I have no idea.
All right.
I
think the question is in Chewy's home office, he has these paintings. His wife wants to take them down. Should Chewy be able to keep them up in his home office?
I think that's good.
Pulls up in the field.
I think it's good. I don't know. I think they look cool.
Because that's not really a common area, right? Like, people aren't congregating there and hanging out, are they?
No, it's separate from the house. It's a pool. It's a pool house. No, it's my room.
Yeah, I think you should be able to decorate it however you want, big guy. I think that these should be able to stay.
Okay, thank you. So we're 1-1.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're not. They're fine. They're fine. They're just like, I don't know. They
What don't you like about them? The brightness?
Well, he doesn't like that.
You're not a car.
He doesn't like that. It's not a Frank.
Hey,
Thomas.
Ashton.
True.
Would
I like
it,
cars.
Ashy?
I like cars.
Ashy, would it help if I said I stole them?
Yeah, that would be a better story.
Would you like them then?
Wait, did you steal them?
No, but I thought you were a big fan of stolen cars. It took 3 times for you to get rid of your car.
Oh, you've got 3 different car pictures, one for each
There
time
you
Ashton
go.
had his car stolen. Yeah, I see.
Yes.
Especially when you explain, because the auto shops were such a big part of not just your wife, but your wife's family's lives when they owned, Goff's Collision Repair. I think that's a nice touch, especially when you add the little the personal touch to it.
And then we're having my father-in-law's 80th birthday down here, who started the company 55 years ago. I think it's good. It's a good.
Yeah, nice little homage. Pete McGuanager saying, that's your man cave, bruh. Lay down the law.
Thank you. There's 2 votes.
But also,
I don't wear the pants.
Yeah, that's always going to be working against you. That's always going to be working against you in situations like this. 800-990-3776. John in Mayville. John has car painting thoughts for you, big guy. What's up, John?
What do you got, John?
Hey, guys, thanks for taking my call. I'm kind of a car guy, too, and I'm just wondering, because I think you have like a hot rod, old coupe. Wouldn't pictures of your own cars or cars within your family or her family make more sense than just pictures of cars?
All right. I mean, I could honor Ashy and do 3 pictures of what were they, Gabe? Kias?
Yeah, the Kia Sportage, a red one. Yeah, you could do that.
Or, I mean, if you wanted to mix it up, throw a Hyundai in there. It was Kias and Hyundais.
Right, of course,
Kias and Hyundais are the ones that get stolen with relative frequency in the city.
I kind of like it's my room. I should be able to put whatever I want on the wall.
Now,
hold on.
Do you have
I
a
will
man
go
cave?
back to.
Do you have a man cave back here in Wisconsin at your home?
Yeah.
And you're allowed to put whatever you want. Did it require her approval for you to put up whatever you wanted in that room?
No, she put up whatever she wanted. Yes.
It seems
But that's not separate from the house, Gabe. This is separate from the house.
Sure.
The only time someone is really in here is when we have company. Because I have a Murphy bed that turns into a queen bed.
Okay.
So no one's really ever in here. It's my room.
See, I will say...
Actually, I'm blown away that you don't like it.
Well, I'm torn because I do think that you should be able to keep these up. Like, these are your paintings. You should be able to... And it's in your space. You should be able to keep them up. I just think you should have better taste. That's my issue.
Let me ask you this.
What do you want to have up instead? How would you decorate it, Ashton?
You already said Frank Thomas pictures and, maybe just a giant hot dog.
I'll leave that alone. Let me ask you this, though. Let me ask you this. Back when you were a kid, were there certain posters that your dad or your mom would not let you hang in your room?
No.
Like, remember that? Like, mine was Farrah Fawcett. We could not have a Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah,
Farrah
my
Fawcett
parents would not have allowed me to have, whatever poster of whatever woman in whatever bikini. Like, that was not going to be allowed in my room.
Would you allow it today when you have a kid?
I would probably lean towards no, but also, like, that kid could also just look up whatever they want on their phone at that point.
Well, you could take the Packer route and then just say, all right, these websites are restricted because child restriction locks really work.
Joe, are you going to add anything else to this?
I don't think so.
Just going to have those 3 car pictures?
I mean, they're bright cars, and I love them.
Yeah, it adds a little character to the room.
I would take a 55 Chevy all day long over a Ferrari.
I mean, like, I'm into old cars, too. I like it.
But so now here's the thing. Ashton, if you are going to criticize Chewy and his tastes, you now have to invite us over. So
you are welcome to come over whenever you want. He will never show up.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So now it is upon me to show up at your apartment, and now I have to take pictures of the things that you have on your walls just so Chewy, I mean, we got to go tit for tat here. Chewy has to have the opportunity to criticize the tastes of the things that you put on your walls as well.
Fine, I accept that.
Just don't do a pop-in because you'll probably walk in on Ashley's girlfriend sucking on his neck.
Okay. I mean, Jesus H. Why are we...
Sometimes you got to do it to entertain yourself. Look, I wanted to talk about this Titanic submarine thing that's been going on. The problem is I know nothing about it. I honestly know nothing about it. I think I heard about it for the first time yesterday. So we have somebody who has been following the story as religiously as he can, and that's Josh DiMaggio. Sometimes fills in here for Ashton, obviously the producer of Scalzo and Brust as well, but he has been following this, and he is going to give us the details. He is going to fill us in and answer all the stupid questions Chewy and I have about this Titanic submarine that has been lost. If that sounds weird to you and you don't know what we're talking about, we will do our best to explain that. Coming up next. Wouldn't it be nice if your summer was filled with more days enjoying the weather than sitting around at a dealership, especially a day like today, beautiful. It's the longest day of the year. Well, at Ewald Automotive, you can, and they'll help you get in and out in about an hour. That's right. Ewald Automotive, you can get it in and out in about an hour. With the Buys of Summer event, you won't find lower-priced vehicle anywhere. They guarantee it. And with live market pricing, you won't overpay for a used vehicle either. With over 1,000 vehicles available, you'll be sure to find the right car for you and your family. It's all easy, and it all starts at ewaldauto.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 94, going to be a bit of a slow ride coming right out of the Zoo Interchange all the way through the stadium. The westbound side slowing down from about 25th Street through the stadium interchange as well. We did have an earlier accident on the ramp from Brewers Boulevard to 94 westbound, but that's been cleared. Southbound on 43, slowing from Good Hope Road all the way down past Burleigh. The northbound side very heavy from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keefe. Traffic is brought to you by the Club at Lac La Belle, the birthplace of golf in Wisconsin. Schedule your tee time at club@laclabelle.com and start your journey. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Mostly sunny with a high of 80 at the lakefront, 85 inland. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 61. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Homer, Tony, living in perfect harmony. Yeah, right.
It doesn't have to be on the quarterback. The Packers have had two of the greatest quarterbacks ever, and in 30 years they've won 2 titles. Do I think you can win a Super Bowl with Jordan Love? Yes, I do. Do I think their current general manager is good enough to have a team strong enough to win with Jordan Love? I do not.
Listen to Homer and Tony weekdays from 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN and wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
My friends at Great Midwest Bank are all about providing options to their customers, such as portfolio loans. It's part of their common sense lending approach. I love it when people use common sense. Great Midwest Bank's experienced loan officers look at every customer's particular financial situation, and they can offer flexible options to qualifying borrowers. Maybe you have a non-traditional credit situation, or maybe you are self-employed. You might still qualify for a portfolio loan, and that's why you should reach out to my friends at Great Midwest Bank and just see what they can do for you. Great Midwest Bank's loan officers personally review review every single loan application. They are friendly, they are professional, and they are always happy to work with finding the best lending product for you. Not your neighbor, not your brother, not your mom, but for you. Experience a state of tranquility by calling my friends at Great Midwest Bank today. Great Midwest Bank is your and my simply local equal housing lender.
Dave Matthews Band Live. June 29th, American Family Insurance Amphitheater during Summerfest. On sale now at the Summerfest box office and online at Ticketmaster.com. Pre-order the new album, Walk Around the Moon, now. Brought to you by Summerfest.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta, and I have told you about the delicious pizza and Italian snacks that you can find at Proof Pizza inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel. But now there's even more to be excited about. The restaurant has added new sandwiches to the menu. Available every day from 11 to 4, you can enjoy items like the Red Rock Chicken BLT, the Meatball Hero, and more. Order from the counter at Proof or directly from the bar at St. Kate. Explore the new sandwiches and the rest of the menu at proofpizzamke.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's producer Ashton from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on ESPN Milwaukee, and I recently checked out 7 Brew Coffee in their newest location in Brookfield. I got to tell you, I'm hooked. I'm not usually a coffee guy, but they've got all sorts of varieties of coffee. They've got smoothies. They've got energy drinks. They're incredibly fast and friendly. My pal Gabe Neitzel and I are going to be hanging out at 7 Brew in Brookfield on Moreland Road this Friday morning during Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Plus, this Saturday, $1 from every drink sold goes towards June's 7 Brew Hero of the Month, Trina O'Malley. Hope to see you out at 7 Brew Coffee in Brookfield this weekend.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Just jump on it.
That's what he did.
Chewy, jump on it. Jump on it. Jump on. Slow down.
On 94.5 ESPN.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down at the big lake they call Gitchagumi. The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead. When
I am very confused as to what is the hottest story right now online, and that is a Titanic submarine that is lost, and they are running out of oxygen. I know nothing about this. Chewy, how much do you know about this story?
I just know it was it a company that offered these people to go down kind of like as tourists into the submarines? I mean, it wasn't a marine biology type. That's the only thing I've heard.
Okay, so
I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I think you're right. So we have an expert who has been following this story and has been online for it all. He's been here. He is going to explain it to us the best he can and then answer any stupid questions we have about it. He is the producer of Scalzo and Brust. He is Josh DiMaggio.
Oh, whoops,
Whoa, Ashley, that's uncalled for. Yeah, this it's the Ocean Gate Expeditions. It is a submersible and not a submarine. That is a key detail. They really want you to know. A submarine is able to launch itself, to control itself, and usually has a propulsion system that, as we know, submarines can travel long distances underwater without being detected, all that sorts of stuff. This is a submersible, which basically you're dropping something in the water, it sinks, and it has very rudimentary ability to control itself while it's down there. We've all seen at this point, well, maybe not all of us, the video game controller, which is...
Hold on. Excuse me?
Video game controller.
So they are controlling this submersible, so again, if you missed it, there's a submersible that does tours of the Titanic. That's what they're doing. This is off the coast of Newfoundland, up in Canada, where they drop you down and they go try to, you can go see the Titanic, I guess. And you have to be rich. I know that, right?
$250,000 per seat.
American? Oh.
Yes. So, and the thing is, there aren't actually seats. Also, if you look at it, it's just kind of a tube that they said is roughly the size of a minivan that they pack, I believe, 5 people paying and then a person who is the captain of sorts.
Okay, so they're controlling this with... Wait, hold on. They're controlling this with a video game controller?
Yes, there is a Logitech video game controller that would be used for, like, your PS3, PS4, which is not even...
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, so it's... What the controller does is not actually like drive it and make it go up and down. It's like to be able to turn and view things because there's one porthole at the front that everybody in the submersible is looking out at what presumably would be the Titanic, which is 2 miles under the water.
Okay, Joshy, how long was it supposed to be down there? How long was the tour?
It's only supposed to be like a few hours. There has been, and now this is all coming out after the fact. Some journalists have, what's a way to put it? When they do, those ad. It's basically an ad. You see it, and it's some guy goes down and talks about this great new technology. Well, the guy who did it for, I believe it was on like a Nightline or something along
like
those.
ABC, something like that.
He detailed how this is not the first time somebody's been lost. They lost communication for 5 hours on a trip he didn't go on. He was just on the boat that launches it and sends it under and then makes sure that they get back and can get out of it. Because there's also another detail. The submersible, once you're in it, they bolt you in. So if you're in it and you surface, you cannot get out of it like you would in a submarine. You have to have somebody there to remove the bolts that are holding this together and keeping the pressure inside to the level a human can withstand.
Seems bad.
So you pay $250,000 for this experience?
Yes, you do. It's one of those things where I think people assumed. Now you can look at if you look it up with the previous trips, they basically say there's no regulatory body and you might die from doing this, which is, people sign those things when they go skydiving, all of that, but there's still regulators. There's no one regulating what you need to go 2 miles under the water to view the Titanic. Now, the interesting thing that came out yesterday is there is a former employee who was suing them back in 2018, basically saying, hey, this isn't made to go 2 miles under the water. Like, these things aren't rated to be this deep because, very frankly, there's very little rated to go 2 miles under the water. Now, there's obviously things you can go that are a couple 100 feet. I believe the porthole that they were using for a while, and they might have changed it out since then. That's unclear. It was for 1,300 feet. Do you know how many feet 2 miles is?
We're over 10,000 feet.
Yes. Yes. So it seems like it's kind of something that some people just decided they were going to be doing. The CEO has a quote saying safety is waste, and if you're too safe, you're wasting money. So it's not great.
Is Chewy the CEO?
So how long? So they've been doing this for years, where they've been doing these Titanic tours?
It appears it has been going on for a long time. Most of them have gone fine. I haven't been able to find how many they actually do because I don't know how many people are paying $250,000 per trip.
You would think, it's a limited market for $250K.
It seems like it's a thing the Billionaires Boys Club do and send them out there. Go ahead.
But there's no governing body because it's in international water.
Correct. There is no governing body. There's no regulatory body. It is just guys who decided, I want to look at the Titanic, so I'm going to build something that does it.
So, Joshy.
Yes.
Would you rather be lost under the ocean or in space?
I would much rather be in space. Being lost in the ocean, the pressure, the way it's so, like, in space, you're kind of floating, you're off, but you can see things. Like, once you're underwater, there's nothing. We don't even know what's down there. We don't know.
As opposed to we know what's in space?
We have a better.
Well, we're getting a better idea.
We've explored the moon more than we've explored the ocean floor. So that's
fair. Okay, that's very fair.
Yeah, there's just something about being underwater that is very oppressive and, like, If these people this thing didn't implode and is just stuck and needs to be helped out, I mean, they've been sitting in a small tube, which is smaller than a minivan. They say it's the size of a minivan. Maybe that's the whole size of the giant submersible. They've just been sitting there.
With no bathroom.
No bath. No, there is a rudimentary bathroom, is what they called it.
Well, but I mean,
which is a bucket.
Well, I was about to say, it's not like you also have food down there.
Right,
you're not. There's not a lot of waste that needs to come out of your body because you've been stuck down there. So this happened Because they're running out of oxygen, right?
Yes.
I think at this point they're probably less than 24 hours.
I would. Yesterday they held a press conference. The Coast Guard did, and they said they imagined there was about 40 hours of oxygen left in it. They bring 4 days of oxygen with them. Now, oxygen, as you know, isn't just. It's not like we have 2 days of power left in this thing. If people are panicking, breathing heavy, if there's a lot of that fluctuates. There's no way to determine exactly how much, but what they typically go down with is 4 days worth of oxygen, which apparently I think should have been a key sign. Like, wait, I could be stuck in this for 4 days. I don't want to do this.
Yikes.
I mean, it's the Titanic. If it was like Atlantis, which they found Atlantis, by the way. If it was Atlantis, then I would go down. But I'm not going down to see the Titanic. I mean, you've seen the movie. What's the big deal? Right?
It's one of those.
Wait. You're just gonna.
We can't.
You're just gonna skate past him, claiming that they found Atlantis.
Yeah, this could take us down.
Yeah, they found it. It's it's off of the Bahamas. I think.
Who's they?
Yeah. This guy. No, really, there are huge blocks. All right, number one, before the Ice Age, the ocean was 400 feet higher than it is now. Higher or lower? It's got to be higher, right, Josh?
Sorry, I was looking.
No, lower.
I was looking up
no,
Atlantis.
It's lower. It's lower. So they have these big blocks and I forget the name of the highway. Huge blocks, like
he's doing a great job.
Granite blocks that are like 12 by 12 stacked, and it made a road. And they say that's where Atlantis is or was. It's very fascinating.
I'm looking at something here from 2011 that's saying it was found off of Spain. I found another place that's saying it was found off of the coast of Africa. It seems like everybody's finding Atlantis. They're just finding ruins because the ocean level raised, and they said, well, this has got to be it.
The ocean went 400 feet lower, Chew.
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Or was 400 feet lower.
Right.
Okay. What? You don't believe in Atlantis?
Not really, no.
What do you mean believe in it? Like, it's...
Like, no, I don't.
Guys are idiots.
Yes, we're the idiots. You're the one who said they found Atlantis.
Yeah, we were talking about the Titanic and submersibles. Next thing, I'm finding the road to Atlantis.
You filled in enough on this show.
It's called the Battle for Atlantis. That's what it's called, not the Road to Atlantis.
Nah, there's a name for it.
Do you have any more questions for Joshy Chew?
Yeah, do you regret coming in this morning?
I think I'm good. That was good, Joshy. That was really good. Keep
I wanted to get educated, and I felt like I was the only. I felt like I was the only one who didn't know what was going on. Like, I was in a group text, and you guys were firing off texts yesterday. I'm like, I have no idea what this thing is.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where people are mining and finding all the old stuff about this and going, wait a second, why didn't? Because I never took particular interest in what it would take to go under and view the Titanic, but once you start reading those articles and video stories I have about it, you start going, I think this was a bad idea. And I think everyone knew it was a bad idea.
All right. There we go. Josh DiMaggio, thank you for
thank you,
bringing us up to date on everything going on with the Titanic submersible. I was calling it a submarine. It's just a submersible. I was wrong. Hand in the air there. We'll get the latest on the Milwaukee Brewers, plus ask Sophia Minnaert if she would rather be lost at sea or lost in space. That's all next. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We are seeing delays now on westbound 94 from about 20th Street through the stadium interchange, the eastbound side, on and off the brakes from about 84th Street through the stadium as well. Southbound 43 going to be pretty hefty from about Bender Road all the way down to Keefe. Actually, make that Burleigh starts to let up there. The northbound side slow right out of the Marquette up past Keefe. And on the bypass heading westbound, a little bit heavy, a patch right between Loomis and 60th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, a high of 80 at the lake, 85 inland. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 61. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce carton selected varieties Cedar Crest Premium Ice Cream, $3.99. 3-count box selected varieties Magnum Ice Cream Novelties, $4.49. 64-ounce bottle Indian Summer Apple Juice or Cider, 2 for $4. 5.6 to 5.9-ounce box selected varieties Cheetos Mac and Cheese, 2 for $3.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality Men's Health. Guys, did you know that the stored belly fat reduces your free testosterone? The more the belly grows, the harder it is to drop, mostly because of the decrease in free T. It's a vicious cycle that men are losing, and unfortunately, everyone can see it. Mentality breaks that cycle with semaglutide, an industry-changing weight loss medication that can help you lose up to 15% of your body weight while preserving your testosterone. Join our over 20,000 clients to look and feel the way you deserve. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Looking for the best way to welcome new teammates or business partners to your team? Look no further. 3 Tree Marketing is a full-service branded merchandise agency using creative merchandising to share your company's story. Be the envy of others with specialized gifting and onboarding kits from 3 Tree, an amazing opportunity to best showcase what a brand is all about. Work with a team that thinks outside the box and becomes an extension of your team. See what else 3 Tree Marketing can do for your team and set an appointment today. 3treemarketing.com.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And you know, there's more to being a local Wisconsin bank than perfectly pronouncing Oconomowoc or Waukesha. Or is it Waukesha? But rest assured, at Great Midwest Bank, we understand the local community and economy because we're a part of it. At GMB, we provide customized lending products that others just can't offer. Experience a hometown banking difference. Head to greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
We don't want you on our team.
You're not the right fit for this job.
You're too slow and fast. Don't you care how you look?
Weight bias hurts. Go to stopweightbias.com. A public service message from Obesity Action Coalition.
From the latest happenings on the diamond.
This team will come up with a lot of different things. So for now, we've got a cheesehead. And it works.
To all the insight and expertise on things outside the ballpark.
I'm out on deep dish pizza. Sorry.
No, do not apologize for that take. It's the correct take.
You don't have to apologize for being out on deep dish pizza.
We only turn to one person. Batter up. It's Sophia Minnaert on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Brought to you by Ewald Automotive. Shop the Ewald Automotive Group's exclusive best used car selection of over 600 of your favorite cars, trucks, and SUVs. Visit any of their 8 locations or shop online at ewaldauto.com. And by Century Foods. Win the ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. You could throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field for batting practice. Enter at your local Century Foods.
Always love talking to Sophia Minnaert every Wednesday here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Sophia, we will get to the baseball stuff momentarily. And look, I know you're in the middle of the baseball season. Brewers have been up and down, up more recently, bouncing back nicely. So maybe you've been more focused on that. But I don't know. Have you seen anything? Are you aware of the Titanic submersible story that is lost and they're trying to find? Are you familiar with this story?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm really fascinated by the story, and I think probably like every girl my age, I grew up with like a semi-obsession with Titanic because of the movie. So yeah, I'm in on the story.
Well, okay, so
but I'm not up to date. Has there been any new developments?
No new developments that I've seen as of today. Just kind of based off of what it was yesterday. And I was not aware. Josh DiMaggio just came in and educated myself and Chewy on all the different things going on. I also got a text saying apparently this is the 5th trip that this company has taken with the submersible down there. And obviously it's going to be the last one for this company as well. But it led to the question of from the big guy to Josh DiMaggio, would you rather be lost in the ocean or space?
Oh, God.
But underneath the ocean, not on top of the ocean, right?
Yes.
Correct, right.
Yes.
You mean like at the bottom of the ocean?
But near the bottom. I mean, who knows where the bottom
Near the
actually
bottom.
is. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I guess.
I mean, we've all seen Apollo 13, and that
Terrifying. It's all terrifying.
Yeah,
there's no real right answer here. It's all terrifying.
No. It's all terrifying. I'm just going with the likelihood of being found. I want to believe it would be at the bottom of the ocean, but I don't know. Space feels really scary to me.
Space, yeah. I mean, space is terrifying. But, I mean, I think Josh DiMaggio made the point of at least you can kind of look out, and we've done more mining on the moon than we probably have of the ocean floor. So you might actually have a better chance. It would be much more expensive for someone to find you, and maybe they decide it's not worth the expense to save you. But I feel like they could at least find you in space.
There are over 100,000 unknown
let me
species in the ocean, just FYI.
Let me ask you this, though. Do you think we decompose in space?
No, I mean...
I don't think you do.
I think
so. It'd be kind of cool floating around forever, no?
Well, just like...
I would certainly take the view. You know, the view would certainly be better than, like, the pitch black ocean.
I'm guessing, Chew, at some point you run out of oxygen, too, right? Just like these people...
No, I'm saying when you die, though, you don't decompose because there's no oxygen to decompose you, so you just be like, you know, in 190 years, you'd be like, hey, that was Gabe. He doesn't look right.
I guess
Chewy was right.
He's right. I mean, technically, he is right.
Chewy was right.
Also, since you said you were obsessed with the Titanic movie, Sophia, how many times did you go see it in theaters?
Oh, my gosh. Too many. Too many, and I think everyone will remember that when it came out, it was a 2 VHS.
Oh, yeah.
So you could choose, right? Like, do you want to watch the first half? Do you want to watch the second half? Do you commit to both tapes? I mean, that's how old we are. It was 2 VHSs because it was such a long movie. Yeah, but I was all in on the Titanic, and I didn't realize until this crisis like how close they were. Like getting to Canada, getting to the East Coast. It's like I guess I never had that perception seeing it on a map when they were outlining how all of this happened. It's pretty wild to me. I guess I always had this perception that they were just in the middle of nowhere in the Atlantic.
Yeah, you thought just your perception of it was, they were like halfway, and just somewhere.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
But no, they were pretty close because again, this company taking you off the coast of Newfoundland up in Canada down.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't think I realized that either, Sophia. And I remember like watching a video when they first found the Titanic. I want to say I was in grade school. Like that was like the big thing. They had finally found the Titanic. There was like some National Geographic thing that they had finally found it. And even then, I didn't realize it was as close as it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacques
it
Cousteau
somehow makes it worse.
Doesn't make it better.
Yeah. I don't know. It somehow makes it worse. Like maybe again, I just had this perception that like they were halfway or they were just truly out in the middle of nowhere, in a very hopeless situation, and then you realize how close they really were.
Sophia, transitioning to the Brewers, do players get exhausted with the swings in baseball where you win 5 and you lose 7 in a row? And the reason I ask this, I go back to our Super Bowl year where we got banged up in the middle of the season and we lose 2 games in a row. We lose to Kansas City, we lose to Dallas, both on the road, and then we go to St. Louis and they are like 3-13. But we're losing at halftime. And all I remember, there was just complete panic. Everyone was panicking. We're supposed to be a good team. We're going to lose 3 in a row. That doesn't happen. And it's hard for me because I look at like the Padres. Are they a bad team because they spent so much money, but they're 38-35? Like it's hard for me to tell if the Brewers right now with all these swings are a good team or a bad team. Does that affect the players in any way where there's a panic?
They're No, I really just don't think baseball allows for that type of panic. Now, if you're talking about a longer losing stretch of like what the Pirates are in right now, I think they're currently at 8 or 9. That's when it just starts to feel like, okay, what's going on here? You just kind of feel like everything against you, right? Like every call is against you, every bounce of the ball is against you, all the close plays are against you. The other team seems to be getting all the breaks. But I don't think there's really room for that panic because you're on to the next at bat, you're on to the next game, the next day, the next series, whatever. So it's like this team has certainly gone through those stretches. They've had 2 6-game losing streaks. They've had series where you're like on the road trip, they get swept by the Colorado Rockies, who are in the bottom of the National League West. Then here at home, of course, the sweep against the Oakland A's, people are like, what is happening here from the outside? And so I think the players know that, like, baseball is impossible to predict. There's not the, like what you're talking about with the Super Bowl season of, like, we should win this, we should do this. It's like, you hope you can take advantage of those series, but I think everyone recognizes, like, baseball is just a crazy game, and you can catch even a bad team at a bad time if they're hot and they're playing well, which was the case with the Oakland A's. I think even with the Cincinnati Reds, like, they're on a 10-game winning streak. That was completely unexpected 3 weeks ago. So that's kind of how quickly things can change in baseball, but I think this team has done a good job of just sort of, like, weathering the storm.
Do you feel, Sophia, as we talk with Sophia Minard here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy about all things Brewers, who won over the Diamondbacks last night 7-5, have an afternoon game to complete that series with Arizona. Do you think that they're going to be able to get healthy enough in time to actually make a realistic kind of evaluation of where they are by the trade deadline?
I hope so. I mean, I think if you're talking about the trade deadline, I think probably the only piece that would be a question mark there would be Brandon Woodruff. But by then, you hope, I think, right now they're relatively at full strength in the position player group. You got Willie Adames and Jesse Winker back. They're still trying to get things going offensively. Tyrone Taylor is working his way back from an elbow injury, but they've sort of addressed the depth there with adding Raimel Tapia. They have Blake Perkins up, who's performed really well. And then you've got Sal Frelick, who's working his way back from a thumb injury in AAA. So you feel like those could be options if Tyrone's taken a little bit longer. So I think position player group, they're actually in a pretty good spot. It's just Brandon Woodruff is sort of the big missing piece right now in the pitching staff, and then kind of what that does. So I think they've got a big stretch here coming up before the All-Star break. They're going to have 10 straight games within the division. They'll have 3 against Pittsburgh, 4 against the Cubs, and then 3 against the Reds again before the All-Star break. So I think that will maybe help with at least the division standings going into the break. And then when you come back, you're, I think, 10 days or so away from the trade deadline.
Sophia, we appreciate the time. Always love the insight to the Brewers and insights into whatever other goofy topic we happen to be talking about here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Yes, we cover all the things.
We try
to. Titanic, baseball, food.
She could have saved Jack.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I've never seen the movie, but Ashton has always maintained that Rose could have saved Jack. Is she gone?
No, I'm here. Oh, okay, yeah.
Are you in that camp? Are you on the camp that Rose could have saved Jack? That there was enough room on whatever she was floating on there?
Yes, I feel like she could have at least made room.
Exactly.
She could have at least made an effort. She could have made an effort. Now, I've also seen interviews where they've asked James Cameron, the producer of Titanic, this question. He said no. So I don't know if you want to take the producer's word for it.
Yeah, I mean,
why would you listen to a producer ever?
I've got eyes, like I can see. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I guess I trust Ashton's eyes and your eyes in this instance.
You've never seen it?
No, never seen Titanic.
I've never seen it either. Yeah,
you should watch it.
Movie night. Really?
Yeah.
Well, I know how it ends.
This is tragic.
Yeah, the movie was spoiled 100 years before it was made.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just never seen it.
You guys are really missing out.
Well, I've never seen it, Sophia, and when it came out, like, I know, again, I've got a sister who's 2 years older than me, and, like, her and her friends were absolutely obsessed with it. I never went to go see it in theaters, and then, as you mentioned, like, even if I wanted to watch it after it came out on VHS, it was a daunting task. It came as 2 VHS sets. There are just so many things it was just intimidating to look at those 2 VHSs and go, yeah, I'm going to sit down and watch this afternoon.
But how have you not even just caught part of it, like on the classic Movie Channel reruns? I feel like it's on almost every day, if not every other day. You can find
Sophia,
Titanic on a channel somewhere.
Somebody can, anyways.
Does this fall into the category of a chick flick or no?
There's romance to it. Ash, would you agree? It's kind of a chick flick. Maybe that's why we were all obsessed with it.
Yeah, I mean, it has that. But there's like always a negative connotation to the term chick flick.
Sure.
I'm not gonna lie. I love
I
chick
know.
flicks. Great.
For not seeing it, as popular as the movie was, it's an iconic movie, regardless of genre.
Yeah, you guys should watch it together.
But at this point, at this point, I've just never. Yeah, I'm sure it's on some streaming platform somewhere. I'm sure it's very easily accessible. It's just, again, it's a large undertaking. Who's got that kind of time?
I'm sorry, Gabe. How many times have you seen
I would liken it to a round of golf. It's how many hours of golf do you watch?
Yep.
How many hours of golf do you watch on TV?
Unhealthy amount, Gabe.
It's actually a shorter commitment compared to like watching a day of golf.
All right. Well, when you put it like that, Sophia, and it seems less, but also we'll see if we. Okay, I will try to watch it before the end of the baseball season, and I will report back when you join us at some point on a future Wednesday.
Please do.
Okay.
I await your review.
All right. I don't think Chewy's in, but I am in. Sophia, appreciate it. We look have a good day at the ballpark today.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Sophia Minner joins us. Yeah, we said goodbye to her and then somehow ended up talking about Titanic for a little bit longer.
I could have kept going, honestly.
Well, yeah, because you're a big bet.
Ashton's a sensitive one here, huh?
Well, is that news?
Yeah, I think that was one we already kind of knew.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'd say, hey, I can be persuaded with some rots over at Ashton, but that's kind of weird.
What kind of movies have you gone to the movies with your girlfriend?
Me?
Yeah.
No, we haven't gone to movies. We've watched movies.
What kind of movies do you typically watch?
Okay, Josh.
I didn't even hear what he say.
He said, heck yeah.
What did he say, porn?
I don't want to answer this question.
All right, we'll dive into that. We'll try to compose ourselves. Coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Wade versus Diener, 3-day event where Dwayne Wade and Travis Diener will compete to raise the most money for local youth literacy programs. Mark your calendars for July 23rd. Don't miss this opportunity to join these NBA stars as they give back to the Milwaukee community through their shared love of basketball and fundraising for youth literacy. It's easy. Go to Wade versus Diener, wadevsdiener.givesmart.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN. Sunday Night Baseball hits the City of Angels this week for a 2017 World Series rematch.
There's a shot to left and deep, headed toward the Dodger bullpen. It's gone! Mookie Betts is on a tear.
It's Dodgers hosting the Astros in L.A.
Left field, deep and gone! Minute Maid erupts with Bregman's 5th grand slam of his career.
Our coverage starts Sunday night at 5, right here on Milwaukee's home for the biggest MLB games of the week. 94.5 ESPN.
Ewald Automotive is making your car buying experience even easier. It's so easy, you'll be in and out of the dealership in about an hour. Go to ewaldauto.com, select the vehicle you're interested in, and get your instant price. Get a firm trade-in offer, customize your payment option, and even add your own protection plans. Then head to the dealership, and you'll be in and out in about an hour. Go to ewaldauto.com.
This is going to be interesting, so pay attention.
Mountains and trees. Ducks and hunting dogs. Dinosaur bones. Meteorites. Steel that's carved like the leather stirrups on a Western saddle. Damascus steel, like they make swords out of. Carbon fiber. Hardwood.
Manly things.
Hardwood. You already said that. I know. I just like the sound of it. Hardwood. It does have a nice ring to it.
Ring. I see what you did there.
I'm sorry. I got us off track.
Kessler's has wedding bands for men
Real men.
made of manly things.
He wants you to wear a big, beautiful diamond so that everyone you meet will know how much he loves you.
Why not insist that he wear something equally cool?
You'll tell your grandkids about the day you went shopping for this wedding band at Kessler's when they ask,
Where did you get such a cool ring? And what is it made of?
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
Go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Dave Matthews Band Live. June 29th, American Family Insurance Amphitheater during Summerfest. On sale now at the Summerfest box office and online at Ticketmaster.com. Pre-order the new album, Walk Around the Moon, now. Brought to you by Summerfest.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to three key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202. CordellCordell.com.
She's moving to Georgia.
Jada's Podiatry Clinic's top nurse quit, leaving her business toes up.
We've got 6 procedures and 3 major surgeries in the next 2 days.
She needs a new RN who can think on their feet.
There's no way I can do all these procedures on my own.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
When is it acceptable to go onto a reputable dating site? Not Banger or Sticker or whatever. When is it okay?
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
Are you going to answer the question, Ashton? Movies that you and...
Gabe, can I get some clarification, though?
Sure, yes, please.
Since I just came into the loop. Ashley, did you meet your girlfriend on a dating site?
Yes. Is that enough information for you?
I don't think there's...
Well, I didn't want to know. Someone else in the house wanted to know.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
No.
I just,
No, there's
I don't either.
There's no negative connotation. Like maybe a decade ago, there was like a negative connotation to online dating, but it's...
Yeah. Was she a farmer?
Yep. FarmersOnly.com. I had to lie.
I'm just asking, Gabe.
She a farmer?
To answer your
Fair
question, several Disney movies, because I have seen almost none.
Okay.
So that was one thing. She likes scary movies. I don't. So I watched a couple of those. Not a fan.
Why don't you like scary movies?
Because I'm a baby. You guys know this.
They're fine.
Like the Jordan Peele movies, like those.
Oh, those are great though.
So
those are more like thrillers.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Get Out, which didn't bug me at all. That was fine. So we'll see.
Us? Did you guys watch Us?
No, I still gotta watch that one. And what's the other one? Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, gotta watch those two still.
Yeah, those are all real good.
Yesterday, she told me that we should watch Lord of the Rings, and I don't want to do that at all.
I mean, you want to talk about time commitments.
That's like a 9-hour movie.
I think if you combine all 3 movies, it becomes like a 9-hour. Yeah,
I'm not watching all 3.
Kind of becomes a 9-hour thing.
One. We can watch one of those.
The 2 Towers. The middle one's probably the best.
Whatever. I just do what she says, anyways.
Already at that point.
You're already at that point? Wow.
Chewy and I
doesn't get any better.
Should Chewy be allowed to keep this artwork up, or do you agree with his wife that they should come down? It's accompanied by a picture of the 3 cars Chewy has in the pool house. 66% Chewy are saying yes, keep them up. 2 out of every 3 people like them. So I think you're in good there. And a question posed to our pal Josh DiMaggio, who was on the show earlier, if you happen to miss his rundown of everything that's been going on with this Titanic submersible that has been lost, and they're trying to relocate before they run out of oxygen. Josh did that earlier today. Check it out at Wisconsin On Demand. Would you rather be stuck in the ocean or in outer space? Chew, which one would you rather be?
Space. I'd rather be in space.
73% of people are saying space.
Yeah.
So space over the ocean, yeah. Just because
What
again,
did
the ocean's
Ashley
so
say?
dark and it's. He seemed to be talking himself into the ocean, which is terrible. Which is weird.
Ocean's way worse.
Yeah.
No, I want to be in space.
Space.
Oh, okay.
Always space.
Yeah, space.
Forever.
Forever?
I mean, those are the two options.
Yeah.
Yes, I suppose. Yeah, if those are the two options, yes, space forever. Wildy and Tausch, they're coming up next. 94.5 ESPN.